At St. Mary's Academy in Longmeadow, the day begins with Sister Christine Lavoie greeting students as they enter the building for the start of another school day.
Good morning. Good morning, Dia. Good morning, John. Good morning, Olivia. Good morning.
The caring, nurturing environment has been present not only on this cold January day, but throughout the school's 50-year history. Here, faith and academics intertwine daily as the entire student body gathers in the gym before classes begin. St. Mary pastor C.J. Watakis and Principal Joan McDonald lead the students in prayer.
We do so in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And together let us pray the Memorare. Remember, O most loving Virgin Mary, that never was it known that anyone who fled to your protection, implored your help, or sought your intercession. A small town is like a big family. Well, I think a small school is like a big family. No, we're the St. Mary's Academy family. So it's a great place to be.
Dedicated by Springfield Bishop Christopher Weldon, St. Mary's School opened its doors in the fall of 1967. St. Mary's was under the supervision of Father Martin Forhan, a dedicated pastor who was committed to children. Then the newest school in the diocese served 116 students in grades 1 through 4 and was staffed by the Sisters of St. Joseph and one layperson. Each year a new grade was added until 8th grade was reached. Kindergarten soon followed. Over the decades, the school continued to evolve with the addition of permanent music and art teachers. Later, Spanish, phys ed, health, and a computer program were added to the curriculum. Student enrollment reached a high point in 1971 with 277 students. This year, the Academy is in the midst of celebrating its 50th year anniversary. Joan McDonald has been at the Academy for 22 years, 9 years as a teacher and the past 13 as its principal. As soon as she entered the building for her job interview 2 decades ago, McDonald knew St. Mary's was her destiny.
So I walk in and it was just this this sense of peace. Before I even had my interview, I knew this is where I wanted to work and certainly said a prayer that it would be where I could work. And I felt that every day walking in the building. Certainly Mary is very present in our school daily for all of our children, for all of the parents and faculty and staff. It's a special place. It has a special sense about it. Families and students feel the same way.
Here, McDonald said family is the modus operandi, the one word teachers, parents, and students mention the most when describing the school's atmosphere. Throughout its history, St. Mary's Academy has been blessed with dedicated pastors committed to Catholic education. Monsignor Thomas Devine became pastor in 1978. During his tenure, he kept tuition low and affordable. After his passing in 2000, Father Francis Riley was appointed pastor. In 2006, he oversaw the school's transition into an academy.
No sock, no shoe on today? No. Oh, it's shocking.
Father Watakis joined St. Mary's just over a year ago, in large measure because he wanted to serve at a parish with a school.
Since I've come here, I don't teach, but I just try to be a constant daily presence. I begin my day with morning prayer, and then I try to stop into the class. I try to stop into the lunchroom. I walk around and say hi to the kids. What's for lunch? What are you learning? And I try to come to all the activities as best I can. It's just a fun place to be. I think we live out our Catholic faith. You know, we try to teach them their religion, but also how to be respectful, kind.
Diane McDonald has been the school librarian for 25 years.
I enjoy it tremendously, yes. We're like a family here, and each year it gets better and better. It's a wonderful, bright building. The faculty is wonderful to work with in all the 25 years I've been here. I've had 3 principals, and each one of them being different. Each one is a pleasure to work for.
Sister Christine Lavoie has spent 43 years in Catholic education as a teacher and principal, most recently at St. Mary's in Westfield. She came back to the Academy 2 years ago and is now the enrichment reading teacher. She also teaches a liturgical calendar course. In 1974, St. Mary's was her first assignment, where she taught reading, literature, and religion.
It was a wonderful school to be at, and it was certainly exciting because we were the youngest school. We were the newest school in the diocese.
She recalled 1976, the bicentennial year.
We were part of the Longmeadow Days parade. I remember the kids being on the float. I remember the fact that I had a colonial dress.
Sister Christine spent 14 years here. Nearly 30 years later, she noticed some things haven't changed at all.
We obviously have kept our celebrations of prayer and liturgy, and we're named after Mary, so the rosary is important in school here. We have wonderful parents that are very supportive of the school, and that hasn't changed for sure. So it feels wonderful to be back here. And the second grade teacher here was one of my students in the third grade when I taught here.
That former student is Carrie Widmer. Her experience at St. Mary's School as a student was memorable in part because of Sister Christine.
Very kind and loving. She was supportive, and she helped everybody in any way that she could. I remember her working with all the students and helping us, and not just academic, but in social and spiritual, and all through what would help us in life.
Kathleen Dennis has been the school nurse for over 20 years. Her 3 children went to St. Mary's in the 1990s. All went on to successful careers.
I think that the teachers here work very hard to bring as much opportunities to the kids as they can. At the same time, reminding them in all the activities that it's about service to others and community.
Kindergarten teacher Mary LeClaire has the most seniority at the academy, 30 years.
I love the atmosphere. I love the support that I get. I love sharing my faith with the children, especially kindergarten. They just are so eager to learn. I love their enthusiasm.
The academy draws students from 15 of the surrounding communities, as well as Longmeadow.
Yet we still have that family feeling, like we're all together, but we're all coming from different areas. And it stayed that way over my 30 years. When I came, it was very warm and welcoming, and it still is that same way.
During the school year, there always seems to be a beehive of activity. Whether it's the Battle of the Books, drama club, field trips, the bell choir, school picnics, or outside groups visiting. The Spelling Bee is a big event hosted by the Academy. It's a 2-day extravaganza that's open to other diocesan Catholic schools. The Academy has always been strong in its academics. Today, technology is an essential component of learning. Here, smartboards, notebooks, iPads, and computers are available for students at all grade levels. Plus, the Academy has its own sports teams that compete in the local CYO League. In addition, Principal McDonald said one of the reasons for the school's success is the attention given to each student.
I think we've stayed open over the past 50 years because we continue to work with that individual child. What are your needs? How can we support, again, your social, your emotional, your academic needs? And it's not just this is our curriculum and this is how we're going to do it.
One of the events held to commemorate the anniversary took place right here in the school gym last October. At the Sock Hop, attendees got a chance to actually hear Elvis Presley sing his hits and also meet Marilyn Monroe, one of the era's most iconic figures. The Sock Hop was all Father CJ's idea.
I mean, when I walked into the gym, I just said to myself, Rydell High. It reminded me of the movie Grease, and I thought, what a great place for a 50s dance. We had a wonderful Elvis impersonator, Ray of Elvis. We had a Marilyn Monroe impersonator. And great music, great food, and we had a great time.
After the Pledge of Allegiance and a reciting of the school rules, the students had a chance to let loose by singing one of Father CJ's favorite songs.
And so are you. So let's all praise the Lord. Right arm, left arm, right foot, Father Abraham.
It's just one of the many memories students here will take with them long after they graduate.